So Stacy McCormick, you are a hairstylist. What drew you initially to cutting and coloring and styling hair?
As a kid, I always enjoyed playing with my Barbies, and I knew from when I was little that I wanted to do hair. It was just fun, and playing dress up, and it was fun to me. So I knew from, I think when I was 4, my daughter's age, that was what I wanted to do.
Now, that has actually led to you being involved philanthropically in our community. Do you think your interest in hairstyling has evolved as you've gotten older and as you become more advanced in your career?
I think so.
Yeah, well, talk about that. How so?
I don't know how to answer that question. I want to not only do hair behind the chair, but I want to use that for the community, to serve others, you know, not to make profit, but just to give back and to love on people, because I think that's what we're called to do.
So speaking of that, perfect segue into talking about Hope and a Haircut, which is a really fascinating sounding effort that you lead up. You've used your skill as a hairdresser to start this nonprofit organization, Hope and a Haircut. Tell us what happens at Hope and a Haircut and how you seek to achieve its mission.
So we gather stylists around the community, and it could not be done without them or the volunteers at our church. And we transform our gymnasium into a salon-like atmosphere, and we provide haircuts for those that are in need, low income, and or never step foot in a hair salon. And we provide it to them at no cost, and we feed them and we love on them. So they will just come, and we have shampoo bowls, and it's fun, just like you go to the hair salon. And it's one-on-one conversation just about their life, you know, get to know them and to make it the most enjoyable experience for them.
So you did a back-to-school effort earlier, a few months ago. So talk about that, how many people you were able to serve, and it's sort of amazing how long that thing went that day.
Yes, so the event started went from 4 to 6, or 4 to 7, excuse me. And we usually do 100 haircuts, but at 3:30 we had a line, and by 4 o'clock we had 100 people on our books. By 5 o'clock we had 200 people, and we ended up cutting hair until 10 o'clock that night. So I had 20 stylists, and I had 4 stick it out to the very end. So it was a pretty remarkable event.
It must be a combination of being gratified and exhausted all at the same time.
Absolutely.
So, well, what makes it? How did you come up with this idea?
I had a video shared with me by my sister-in-law and a beauty college, and I think it was in Oregon. They do something similar to this, and I thought, you know, I can use my gifts and my talents, not just behind the chair, for my income, but to benefit the community and to give back and to lead others to Jesus. So I thought, why not? So
it's obviously had an impact on them. What sort of impact do you think it has on you?
I'm gonna cry. You know, the stories that you hear and the people that you meet, some come just because they know you're going to feed them, and that's the only meal that they're going to get. And I remember one lady, it was like the second event that we did, and her heater had gone out in her house, and she was cold, and she said, I didn't need a haircut, but I thought it was the only way I could eat. So she came, and I think her name was Ruby, and she said it was just warm, and she stayed for the whole time, and it was probably 6 hours. And we gave her food to go, and we put her in contact with someone that could help her get her heater going again. You know, little things like that. We were providing haircuts, but we're doing so much more for these people, and that right there is what it's all about.
That's a nice story. So it sounds like it's also a big sort of logistical event to try to pull all this together. Talk about that, what all has to go into organizing something.
Oh gosh, I could not do this without an amazing group of people. the support from my church, Calvary Baptist, financially, they help us. And then my husband he's made everything I've ever asked him to make. He's handy. But the stylists that come out, to rearrange their schedule, and not just their schedules, but they give their time and they donate it without pay. But they have beautiful hearts. They're willing to come and to help out. I can depend on them. The people that come and sweep the hair or take out the trash, and then do all the behind the scenes things that probably go unnoticed and never hear a thank you. It takes a lot of people, but I'm so thankful for all of them, and we're all blessed because of it.
So you mentioned about this happening at Calvary Baptist Church, and of course your father is the minister there. So I guess you maybe come by some of these good works a little naturally.
I guess so. He's a good man. He has a heart for missions and for other people. You'll always see him at Bradford Elementary. We do a lot of things for them, and so I probably do.
So what has been his reaction to all these folks showing up at Hope for a Haircut? Hope and a Haircut.
Overwhelming. I mean, who would have thought that someone would come out and get a free haircut? And the mass amount of people that do was shocking to him. So he's very thankful, and he just wants to continue to keep doing it and watching it thrive and grow. He enjoys it. He's a fun guy, and all the kids love him. He's never met a stranger, and so it's his passion, but he enjoys it so much, and he's thankful that it's just taken off like it has.
I'm sure he's very proud of you. So you have also styled the hair of the girls who live at the Concho Valley Home for Girls. Talk about how you got involved in that and why you do that.
So I have done the director's hair, Kelly, for as long as I've done hair, 15 years or so. And she is one of my dear clients, and she just asked if I would start doing them. And so I have done them from time to time. They've been in my chair, and they're sweet girls. They just, need someone to love on them and not judge them for the choices that they made or whatever lifestyle they may come from. Just to love on them and be there and be an ear for them when they need someone to talk to.
So being able to go to a hairstylist and have their hair done really nicely, what sort of a difference do you think that makes in their lives?
It boosts their confidence for sure. I think we all experience that. I know women do for sure. I don't know how it does for men, but it does boost their confidence and makes them feel better about themselves. The road that they've walked has not been easy, and for them to go and sit and just be pampered for that hour that they're in the chair or however long, I think it just helps them out.
And they have shown their appreciation to you by showing up and helping out at
Yes.
at Hope and a Haircut.
They're always, Kelly's the first one on the phone to call me and say, hey, when's the date? What's the time? The girls will be there. And they sweep and they fold towels, and they just do those little things like that for us, and they're there for the whole time. So greatly appreciate all the work that they do.
As we've mentioned, you're very involved in your church, Calvary Baptist Church, where your dad is the minister. Why is that an important part of your life?
I've grown up in the church, and it's just always something I've enjoyed. I love going and being fed, and I think that it's made me who I am today.
You told me before the camera started rolling that you were never one of those sort of preacher kids who was resentful about being a preacher's kid. Why is that, you think?
I have wonderful parents. This is supposed to be happy. And I had a wonderful childhood. It was no different than the banker's kids or the football coach or anybody else. You know, I was just a kid living my life, and my dad was a preacher, you know, and my mom stayed at home, and it was fun. You know, I wasn't any different than anybody else.
How do you think your faith manifests itself in your daily walk?
It's definitely super important to me. It helps me get up every day and do the things that I need to do, and know that I can overcome anything.
Has it, in some way, you feel compelled you to do things like Hope and a Haircut, or be involved with the girls' home?
You know, I was never worried if one person was going to show up. I just knew I needed to do it. And so I'm thankful that I did. So I just had to have faith and go out and see what happened, you know.
One of the things you've also been involved in at your church is the Summer Kids Eat Free program. So why has that been meaningful for you?
Be able to give back to those kids and get to know them. And then, you know, they see you at Hope and a Haircut, and because those kids are the same kids that come and they bring their families and their other siblings, just to love on them and watch them grow up year after year. It's been neat.
The person who nominated you for the 20 Under 40 honor, she called you a, quote, mentor, a leader, and a great teacher to others. Is that how you see yourself?
I wouldn't give myself a title for sure. I know when I got the phone call for this, I told her that she's the wrong number, and I'm just a person doing what I feel I'm called to do.
Well, the fact that others have taken notice of that, does that speak to you that you are making a difference in people's lives?
Yes, it does.
So, Stacy, how do you define leadership?
I think you must be a servant and be your team's biggest cheerleader. And, you know, never leave anybody out. Always check on each other. Check on your teammates or whoever it is. You have to have integrity, and just be humble and kind, I think. And, you know, don't carry a title, I don't think, you know, and if people are doing what you're doing, then you're probably a leader.
Well, when you have 20 hairstylists showing up to cut hair for free, then that may be a good indication. So who's a leader who has, you think, helped inspire and shaped you, someone that you've wanted to follow?
Oh, gosh. I've thought about this question for a long time. I mean, I would say my parents, my dad, the position that he plays in my life, not only as my father, he's taught me to be a leader and show me what it is to be one, as he's the shepherd over his sheep in his church. But my mom, who has taught me what it is to be a servant, and how she, no matter who you are, she rolls the red carpet out for you. You know, whether you're homeless or you're Joe off the street, it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are. Just to love them and show that you care. And so I would definitely say them, absolutely. And instilling those in me and teaching me those things.
So what pitch would you make to other young women, Stacy, to invest themselves more deeply into their community, maybe their church, maybe their careers?
Don't be afraid just because you're a woman, for sure. Just get out there and do it, you know? There will be a team to support you and lift you up. And if you don't think that anybody will be, you know, I'll be there. But just get out there and do it. Follow your dreams and live big.
Stacy McCormick, it's a big honor to be one of the
Thank
20
you.
under 40. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.